Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, in the county of Sheriff. And today's date is early Sunday morning, October the 5th, 2014. And the time is 2:45 a.m. And I'm going to date today's video with yesterday's date, which will be Saturday, October the 4th. 2014. I want to first say thank you to all my fans, my support for all your continued encouragement and support. I'm continuing to be employed in America right here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, in the county of Sheriff, right there at the corner of Walnut Street and Vance Avenue. And I'm continuing to further my education by pursuing my associate's degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing at Monroe College online. And I'm also continuing, because I'm working and going to school, I have to balance work and school. And I'm also continuing to work on my entertainment music interest. I've been continuing to get my lyrics down, my music, and very soon, like I said, before the end of October, I will be going to the studio and record, and all my fans will be able to enjoy my music. And as I always, excuse, and like I always keep my fans informed. Like I stated in my previous video last weekend, that in the past I've already said that I didn't support that street gang stuff out there in Los Angeles, California, and that blood street gang, that Crip street gang, and you don't have no argument in Chicago, in the city of Chicago, state of Illinois, right there up in Cook County, and around that area right now. Like I said, I'm gonna continue. I'm in the process of getting myself registered with the trap registration and protection agency, and to find, to be informed, all my fans, go to www.nbskmt.com, and the Novos Committee Chaos, through Say Ballistic Man, New Comedic Society, and Trapanesiatic Peoples, and you can go to www.shiraki.com, and the Sovereign Nation of Shiraki. They do a lot of work, charitable work, and try to help the people in the city of Shiraki and things of this nature. So to get more informed, you can go, like I said, to those websites. But we're finna get into this continue our study on African traditional religion and West African traditional religion. And as always, you have to always acknowledge the people. You have to always recognize the people. You can't say African traditional religion and West African traditional religion, and you're talking about the Mexicans, or you're talking about the people in Australia, or you're talking about the people in the Pacific Islands. You understand? You're talking about the people in far away in lands other than on the continent of Africa. So you have make sure you acknowledge and recognize. You have to make sure you acknowledge and recognize the people in Africa, on the continent of Africa. When you say African traditional religion, you say West African traditional religion, acknowledge the people, recognize the people. And also, when I'm going to that, I was able to get my 2 books. My other 2 books came, you know, that I had ordered. And, this is the book, African Religion, World Religions, by Professor Aloysius M. Lugiro. This is his, this is his book, and I had ordered it. And as you can see, it's a used book. It's in pretty good condition. And, but I wanted to make sure I show everybody the book that I did get it. And also, this book is also a used book that I bought, but it's all the book by. The title of the book is Spearmaster: An Introduction to African Religion. The author is 2 authors. Author is Dr. Molifi Kiti Asante and Enrique Mwadio Ore. And I just read on the back because, as you know, Professor Lugiro is an associate professor. Aloysius M. Lugiro is an associate professor of theology and religion in Africa at Boston College in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. He has authored numerous books and articles on African religion. Molifi Kiti Asante is a professor in the Department of African American Studies at Temple University. He received his PhD from the University of California, Los Angeles. He is a published author of more than 60 books and 300 scholarly articles. Emike Diore has a double doctorate from Howard University and from Temple University, respectively. He is a member of the school I got the little cover up. He's a member of the School of Social Work, but they got this bar with the sticker. So they got the sticker right there. So, if you need to know more about, you can go online probably, most likely. And his name is Dr. Emike Diore and Dr. Molifi Kiti Asante. Now, let's get it. Now, like I said, African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, acknowledge the people. Afro-Asiatic languages, Berber, Chadic, Cushitic, Egyptian, Omatic, and Semitic. Now, I'm going to start with the Semitic this time because I want to make sure. Okay. The Semitic language, Arabic, and is a Semitic language, and classification of Arabic is classical Arabic, modern standard Arabic, and colloquial or dialectical Arabic. Now, when you start getting into the Arabic and the classification and things, it start giving you like these different countries. Then, for instance, it'd be like Palestinian Arabic or Egyptian Arabic or Moroccan Arabic. That's what, when I did my research, that's basically what it was. So instead of doing all that, and it kept saying Arabic, basically what the Arabic languages divide into is classical Arabic, modern standard Arabic, and colloquial or dialectical Arabic. That's what the dialectical Arabic is. Now, that's one Afro-Asiatic language. Amharic is the official language of the African nation of Ethiopia. And the Giaz transcript, writing, people of Ethiopia, that's their official language in the African nation of Ethiopia. And when I did my research, I looked up to see if there was some different dialects and things in there. It basically said mostly that the Amharic was the official language. You really want to know different like big known different dialects up under Amharic. But that's the official language of Ethiopia, and it's an Afro-Asiatic language. Now, Hebrew is an Afro-Asiatic language, and Hebrew is a language in the family of the Canaanite language, which is the Northwest Semitic. And when you break it down, you got archaic biblical Hebrew, standard biblical Hebrew, late biblical Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, Dead Sea Scroll Hebrew. Then you had the Mishnaic Hebrew. Then you had the Ammonite, Moabite, Edomite, biblical Hebrew, Tiberian Hebrew, Mizrahi Hebrew, Yemenite Hebrew, Sephardic Hebrew, Ashkenazi Hebrew, Mishnaic Hebrew, Medieval Hebrew, Ashkale Hebrew, Modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, Ancient Samaritan Hebrew, Samaritan Hebrew. Now the Canaanite language is broken down to two: Phoenician, which is extinct, and the Punic, which is extinct. And that's the Hebrew language, and that's Canaanite, which is Afro-Asiatic. Tigrinya is the official language of Eritrea, and one of the official languages of Ethiopia. And when you get into Tigrinya, when they refer to the people, they refer to the people as Tigray. They refer to the people as Tigray or Tigray and Tigray. And again, the Tigrinya is the official language of Eritrea and one of the official language of Ethiopia. And that's another Afro-Asiatic language. And Aramaic. The Aramaic language, as you know, when you deal with the Middle East, when you see Syria, the Assyrians, the people that's in Iraq, the people that's in the Levant, when you the Aramaic, and Iraq in ancient times was referred to as Mesopotamia, and Babylon. And so that's when your Aramaic and around Iran and other close regions, but that's mostly where it was at. Iran, Iraq, Syria, and closely Jordan, around that area. And the way they classify it as Old Aramaic, Middle Aramaic, and Modern Aramaic. And that's another Afro-Asiatic language. And those are your Semitic languages of the Afro-Asiatic. Now your Omani is an Afro-Asiatic language. And it's a branch of Afro-Asiatic language spoken in Ethiopia. And it's broke down into the North and South Omani branches. Okay, your South Omani is Aron, Hammer, Monet, Aron, Dime, Koro. North Omani, non-Aron. Then it's Mayo, Ambasi, West Mayo, Hozo, CZ, Danze, Dazor, DZ, Shiko, Nai, Gange, Chimoja, Ganga, Kifo, Buru, and Pilo, Kampa, and Shikacho, Shimoje, Yemse, Omite, and Gamire, Mid, and Chore. And that's Omani, branch of Afro-Asian. Then you have your Chadic languages. And broke down the West Chadic, which is your A, the Hase, the Ron, Boli, and Angus. And the B is the Badi, the Waji, and the Zoa. Then you have your Central Chadic, BU, Medare, the three branches which include the A, Bure, Kamwi, and Bente. And then your B, the Balume, and Rufume. And you see is Gida. In your East Chadic, there's two branches which include A, Tunak, and the Nasiri, and your Kire languages. And B, the Dangaliak, and the Makulu, and Sokoa language. And then you have your Maasai. That's your Chadic, Afro-Asiatic. Then you have your Cushitic languages of the Afro-Asiatic. Mount Somali, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. And then some in Sudan and Egypt. But branches of your Cushitic language is Bay, North Cushitic, Central Cushitic, Highland East Cushitic, the Lowly East Cushitic, and your Dudley, and then your South Cushitic. And that's your Afro-Asiatic, your Cushitic Afro-Asiatic. And then you have your Egyptian Afro-Asiatic. And your Egyptian Afro-Asiatic classified as Archaic Egyptian, Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, Late Egyptian, Demotic Egyptian, and Coptic Egyptian. And so let me go back. And then you have your Berber. So Berber is an Afro-Asiatic language. And your Berber is Tashilkit, Kabyle, your Atlas, Tamazite, your Rifni, your Shawi, and your Tuareg. Those are your classification of your Berber, or your Afro-Asiatic language. Then you have your Nilo-Saharan. Nilo-Saharan people, your Luo, and your Kanuri, your Songhay. You know who your Songhay is, right? This Mansa Musa in the slave trade, the Songhay Empire. And your Tiso, your Nubian, Nilo-Saharan Nubian, all you African American Negroes walking around talking about some Nubian prince and princess and all this. They Nilo-Saharan. The Nubians are Nilo-Saharan. Nubare. The Kalenjin. And then, you know, the Kalenjin is Nandi and Pokai. Then you have your Lango, which is a Luo language. Then you have your Dinka. Then you have your Acholi. Then you have your Maasai. Then you have your Ngambe. Then you have your Nuo. You have your Fur. Then you have your Tubu. Then the Tubu has two dialects, the Zange and Tidage. Excuse me. And then let me say this about the Luo. Now, you know, here in the United States of America, the President of the United States, President Obama, his biological father was from the Luo tribe in Kenya, a Nilo-Saharan. And there's some more people recently. And then you also know that in history, in the country of Uganda, that Idi Amin was from the Luo. He was a Luo. And the president that succeeded him, Milton Obote, he was a Lango. And you know, as you said, the Lango is a Luo language. And both of those were kicked out of the country. And the current president of Uganda, Museveni, he a Bantu. He Bantu. And now we're going to get to Niger Congo. Niger Congo. A and B. Niger Congo language. Your Kordofanian languages. And then you have your Mandi or Mindi, and which include Bambare and Soniki. And then you have your Ajo, and Difake. Then you have your Dogon. You have your Atlantic, which is Wolof, and your Fule. Then you have your Crew, which is BT, and Yahweh, and D-Day, Ade. Then you have your Sanufo. Then you have your Sinari, and Suyiri. Then you have your Gur, which is Moor. Adamanwe, Chambe, Ubunji, which is a Sango, Quake, which is a can, your Bota, Niger, West Benue, Congo, your GB languages, your Iwi, then you have your Yoruba, your Igbo, and also you have your Edo, your Nupe, Adame, and your Tia. You have your East Benue, Congo, which is your Bantu, Swahili, and your Fang, your Congo, your Zulu, your Swazi, and you also have your BT, your Lingale, Gikuyu, which is Kikuyu. You have your Kambe, your Gusi, Miru, Sukume, and your Wisi, your Gogo, Kito, Katube, Luande, Mbundu, Congo, Yake, Ganda, Chica, Inyakori, Soga, Haye, Luya, Nandi, Runda, Rundi, your Haylane, Lube, Sangi, Tange, Inyakuse, Ingundi, Inyanje, Tambuke, Sine, Kue, Yao, Ngulu, Makundi, Mbundu, Hiriro, Shane, Nduya, Soto, Tiswane, Pidi, South Soto, Tiswane, South Indibili, Lozi, Tisange, Tiswe, Range, Chopa, Dende, your North Soto, and North Indibili. That's all of your Niger Congo A and B. And then you have all your Khoi and your San, your click consonant languages. The Khoi people and the San people, two different people, groups of people. The Khoi, the San, and the Khoi and the San, some of the Khoi and the San extinct or moribund. So, but like I said, you can refer to trying to pronounce the click consonant. I'm not going to even say that I'm skilled in that area, so I refer everybody to the Khoi people, to the San people. Do your own research. Don't depend on me to try to pronounce it. Trying to pronounce them click consonants right now. I'm not skilled as of right now. But like I said, the Khoi people and the San people is not one Khoi San. It's two groups of people. It's the Khoi and the Sans. Anybody that's not in Congo, your common sense will tell you, if you hear me say Khoi and San, you not Khoi and you not San. You not your Congo. Malagasy is an Austronesian language. It's the national language of Madagascar. The Malagasy language is the westernmost member of the Malayo-Polynesian branch of the Austronesian language family. Excuse me. It's related to the Malayo-Polynesian language of Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and more closely related to the East Burrito language spoken in Borneo. And it's is the Austronesian language. And on this video, I won't really just go too far. I mean, spend too much time. But what I want to do on this video is just what I did, is to make sure you acknowledge the people, African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, and recognize the people of African traditional religion and West African traditional religion. This is what I'm about to talk about now, is the East African trade, slave trade, and the West African slave trade is very important. I'm going to start with the East African slave trade. As you know, the East African slave trade was concentrated. It was up and down the east coast of Africa, but there was a certain section, parts of Africa, that a lot of slaves came from the Great Lakes area, which is Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And when you talk about the East African slave trade, you hear the word Zanzibar. And when you talk about the East African slave trade, you talk about the Indian Ocean. You talk about the islands in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius, Reunion, and islands like that. When the French had sugar plantations, they were taking slaves. They were taking human beings from the East African coast and sending them to these islands in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius, Reunion, islands, all the islands in the Indian Ocean, and to work on these plantations. And those slaves were coming through Zanzibar. And there's a word, Arabic word, that refers to the Bantu, Zanj, Z-A-N-J, Zanj. And this is something that lets you know that there were slaves being traded on the East African coast, and it identifies the people. This is very important. African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. It tells you in the East African trade, slave trade, historical record. When you hear the word Zanj, Z-A-N-J, who are they talking about? They talking about the Bantu. Bantu. They talking about the Bantu people. And the slave trader, his grandfather was a African, and he was Swahili. Tipu tip, tipu, tipu tip. That's another indication of the East African slave trade. When they tell you about Tipu Tip, he owned over 10,000 slaves. Over 10,000. Do your research on the East African slave trade and look that word up. Zanj, Z-A-N-J. It's Bantu. When you translate it, it's referring to the Bantu. And that's what you need to recognize about African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. The people, the Bantu people being traded as slaves. And when you see the people of African descent, of African ancestry in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, India, in Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, and you see people in all over the South Arabian Peninsula of African descent, they are Bantu. Bantu. Now, let's get to the West African slave trade. This is very important. Very important. African traditional religion. West African traditional religion. You have to acknowledge the people. You have to recognize the people. The slave trade from Africa to the Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere is North America, which is Canada, United States, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. That's the Western Hemisphere, including, well, they might not consider those islands along the West Coast right there, because that's considered the Pacific Islands. But you know, Hawaii is in the Pacific Island, but it's a part of the United States. That's what I was getting to. Samoa, all those islands, territories, they're part of the United States of America. And when it comes to the Western Hemisphere, like I say, that's North America. North America is Canada, the United States, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. Now, when we deal with the West African slave trade, we deal with the countries where all those slaves came from. This is very important about acknowledging the people and recognizing people are African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, because it's not the Afro-Asiatic, it's not the Nilo-Saharan, it's not the Khoi and the Sandpi, it's not the Austronesian, it's the Niger-Congo, the country of Senegal, Gambia. I did some research and it broke down the countries where the most, had the most slaves come from. And it tells you about the percentage of things. Okay, Senegal, Gambia, 4.8%. Upper Guinea, Bissau, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, 4.1%. The Windward Coast, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, 1.8%. The Gold Coast, Ghana, and east of Cote d'Ivoire, 10.4%. The Bight of Benin, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, west of the Upper Delta, 20.2%. The Bight of Biafra, Nigeria, east of the Niger Delta, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon, 14.6%. West Central Africa, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola, 39.4%. Southeastern Africa, Mozambique, and Madagascar. Madagascar contributed to the West African slave trade, 4.7%. 4.7%. Those are the main areas where the West African slaves came from. Now, when you identify the people based on my research, it says that over 45 distinct ethnic groups were taken to the Americas during the slave trade, going to West Africa. It said of the 45, these are the most prominent, 10 most prominent, according to slave documentation. The Congo of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Angola is number one. Number two, the Mandi or Mindi of Upper Guinea, the GB speakers of Togo, Ghana, and Benin, Edja, Mina, Iwi, Fan is number three. Number four, the Akan of Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Number five, the Wolof of Senegal and the Gambia. Number six, the Igbo of southeastern Nigeria. Number 7, the Mbundu of Angola. Includes both Mbundu and Obi Bundu. Number 8, the Yoruba of southwestern Nigeria. Number 9, the Chambe of Cameroon. And number 10, the Macau of Mozambique. Those are the 10 most prominent groups that got shipped from Africa, from West Africa to the Western Hemisphere. So when it comes to African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, you have to acknowledge the people, you have to recognize the people. So when you see all these people that you refer to as African Americans living in North America, Mexico, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, the overwhelming majority of Niger Congo, just shows the East African slave trade, Bantu, Niger Congo. So, like I said, I'm not going to be long in this video. That's what I want to mainly get that point across in this video, and make sure that I had it on this video, that Niger Congo, A and B, the Bantu, East African slave trade were being traded as slaves in the East African slave trade. The overwhelming majority were Bantu. The West African slave trade, the overwhelming majority were West Africans being shipped to the Western Hemisphere. And like I said, that's what I want to mainly get that established on this video, that African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, acknowledge and recognize the people. And again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, in the county of Niger Congo. I am Niger Congo. As you can see, based on the evidence, my ancestors were Niger Congo. So that makes me Niger Congo. So now, I want to thank all my fans and my supporters for your continued encouragement and support. And like I say, very soon before the end of October, I will be going to the studio record. I've been working on getting my lyrics done. So very soon before the end of October, I will be going to the studio. You will be enjoying my music. And until my next video, I wish each and every one of you the best. Take care of yourself.